At just 25, Hadiza Bello had achieved what many could only dream of: a senior consultant at a top firm. She earned a salary that most people twice her age envied. But behind her success was a painful truth. She wasn't living for herself, she was living for them, her family. The same family that should have supported her, celebrated her, and encouraged her to build her own life. Instead, they saw her as a money machine, their personal lifeline. Hadiza was the youngest of four. Her older siblings, Abdullahi, Amina, and Yusuf, were all in their 30s but had never taken responsibility for their own lives. Her mother, Mama Zainab, was a retired nurse who refused to budget. Her father, Malam Bello, had stopped working years ago, claiming he was too old for the stress. When Hadiza landed her first job at 22, they all rejoiced. Not because she succeeded, but because they found a new provider. But she really didn't mind. She had always dreamed of giving her family a better life. At first, it was small requests. Her parents needed help with rent. Amina needed money for her child's school fees. Abdullahi was trying to start a new business, and Yusuf was job hunting but needed assistance with transport and food. She gave without question, but soon the request became demands. Her mother would call at the start of every month, not to check on her, but to remind her to send money for groceries. Yusuf stopped working altogether, saying, "You earn more than enough, Adiza, why stress?" And the emergencies never ended. Abdullahi constantly needed money for business ideas that never materialized. Amina, who had a child, demanded Hadiza pay for her son's school fees, medical bills, and even clothes. Because family helps, right? Yusuf refused to work, waiting instead for Hadiza's monthly deposit. Her parents, they never asked if she could afford it. They simply expected it. Hadiza worked three jobs just to keep up. Her full time corporate job paid well, but it wasn't enough to cover everyone's endless needs. So she took on freelancing gigs at night and spent weekends tutoring university students. She had no life of her own, no vacations, no savings, no property. She couldn't even date. Who had time for love when she was constantly working to feed an entire household? To them, Hadiza was rich. Her money was endless. They didn't care that she was drowning, that she cried herself to sleep, that her body ached from exhaustion, that she was falling into depression. And the worst part, no one cared how she was doing. Not once did her mother call to say, "Hadiza, how are you?" Not once did Amina ask, "Are you happy?" Not even once did Abdullah or Yusuf say, "Thank you." They guilt tripped her instead. "We raised you. We sacrificed everything for you. Do you think you would have made it without us? You're the only one who can help. We're family, Hadiza." Her father once told her, "You wouldn't even have that fancy job if your mother and I didn't pay your school fees. The least you can do is to take care of us." She believed them. For years, she believed them. Then one day, everything fell apart. Hadiza had been working for 72 hours straight, juggling deadlines, responding to families' never ending demands, barely eating, and that morning, as she left for work, she collapsed. She woke up in the hospital bed, severe exhaustion, malnutrition, anxiety. Hadiza laid in the hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, the steady beeping of the monitors, the only sound keeping her company. 4 days, that's how long she had been there. 4 long, lonely days, hooked up to IV fluids, with doctors coming in and out, reminding her that she had completely run her body into the ground. And yet, Her phone remained silent. No calls, no messages, nothing. The realization settled in her chest like a stone. If she didn't call them, they wouldn't call her. Her family had no idea she was here because checking up on her had never been a priority. As long as the money came in, as long as the bills were paid, the groceries were bought, the debts covered, they never once wondered if Hadiza was okay. A tear slipped down her cheek. They hadn't even noticed she was missing. Her routine had always been the same: wake up, work multiple shifts, answer their endless demands, pay for whatever problem they had that week, and do it all again the next day. In the middle of her thought, the door swung open. Hadiza's heart pounded as the doctor entered the room with a grim expression. Something about the way he gripped the clipboard, the way he hesitated before speaking, her stomach twisted into knots. Miss Bello, we've been monitoring your condition closely, and he exhaled, looking at her with an unsettling seriousness. Your kidney is failing. The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Hadiza blinked, trying to process what she had just heard. Failing? The excessive stress, the lack of proper nutrition, the sheer exhaustion your body has endured for years have taken a toll on your organs. You need urgent surgery, a kidney transplant. You will need a donor as soon as possible. Her breath hitched. A donor? The weight of reality crushed down on her. How had she let herself get to this point? How had she given so much of herself literally to others that there was almost nothing left of her? Her fingers trembled as she reached for her phone. She had no choice but to ask for help. For years, she had been the one holding everyone together, paying the bills, putting the food on the table, solving every crisis. Now she was the one in crisis. Would her family step up? Would they finally, for once, put her first? Her fingers hovered over the keyboard before she finally typed into the family group chat. Hey everyone, I've been in the hospital for days. My kidney is failing. I need urgent surgery and a donor match. Please, I really need you all right now. She stared at the message for a moment, willing herself to believe they would care, that they would rush to her side the way she had always done for them. And then she hit send. She waited. Seconds passed, then minutes, then an hour. The first message that popped up made her stomach drop. It was from Amina. OMG, Hadiza, that sounds serious. Wow. But I heard kidney transplants are expensive. How much is this surgery? I'm really tight on cash. Hadiza's breath caught in her throat. And the next message was Abdullahi. Damn, sis, that's tough. But you're a fighter. You will be fine. Try to rest, yeah? Okay, yeah. Her vision blurred. Not a single offer to come see her. No one asking if he could get tested to see if they were a match. No one even acknowledging the severity of her condition. It was as if she had just said she had a cold. The pain in her chest was unbearable. It wasn't just the illness. It was the not a single offer to come see her. The pain was really unbearable. The realization that her family, her own blood, saw her as nothing more than an ATM, a resource, a provider, not a sister, not a daughter. Her fingers curled into fists. She had given them everything: her youth, her energy, her health. And now, when she needed them the most, they had nothing to offer but excuses. With a deep breath, Emily swallowed her pride and tapped again. Can anyone please get tested to see if they're a match? I really need this transplant, guys. Please. She stared at the screen, waiting, praying. Surely someone will step up. The three dots appeared. Someone was typing. Her heart pounded with hope. It was Amina. Hadiza, you know I hate hospitals, and surgery can be complicated. You know I have a toddler. I can't deal with that right now. Please understand, my beautiful baby sis. But I'll pray for you. Don't worry. You know I love you, baby girl. And then Abdullah said, I would have, but I have work. I can't take time off just to get tested right now. I'm gonna see about that. And finally, Yusuf spoke up. Man, this is really stressful. I don't even think I'm a match. You all always said I look different. Plus, isn't there a kind of waiting list kind of thing? Hadiza's body went cold. She felt like she was drowning, like the walls of the hospital were closing in on her. They wouldn't even get tested? Mom, she wrote, say something. At this, Madame Bello, Zainab, sent a message. Guys, seriously? One of you should come to your sister's aid. She needs you. But that was it. Nothing else. No other message came. Just a simple blood test. No commitment, no surgery yet. Just a test to see if they could help her. But they refused. Tears welled in her eyes. But this time, they weren't from sadness. They were from rage. Something inside her snapped. She had begged them. She had given them everything. And in return, they had given her nothing. Hadiza wiped her tears and did something she never thought she would do. The days that followed were pure agony. Hadiza lay in the hospital bed staring at the ceiling, the rhythmic beeping of the monitors a constant reminder of how little time she had left. Her doctor visited her every morning, his face growing more and more serious with each passing day. Hadiza, we are running out of time. Your kidney function is declining fast. We need a donor soon. But there were no donors. Her name was on the transplant list, but the waiting list was long, too long. Her so-called family had abandoned her, refusing even to get tested. She was truly alone. And the worst part, she still felt guilty. Maybe I should have begged more. Maybe I should have promised them money. Just maybe. Maybe if I had given them money, someone would do something for me. But then she remembered Amina's selfish excuse, and she clenched her fist, swallowing her bitterness. Her friend Clea was the only one by her side. Day after day, Clea watched Adiz's body weaken. And then the nightmare started. Hadiza would jolt awake, gasping for breath, her mind replaying the doctor's words. Your body is shutting down. We are running out of time. You might not have another week. Each day was worse than the last. She could barely eat. Walking to the bathroom felt like climbing a mountain. And then came the worst night of all. A searing pain shot through her back. It was unlike anything she had ever felt before. It spread like wildfire through her body, making her scream in agony. Nurses rushed in, alarms blurred, and then blackness. She woke up hours later, clear clutching her hand, eyes red from crying. Tiza, you almost died. Tears slid down Hadiza's cheek. So that was it for her? No family? No donor? No time to fight for her life? Then, out of nowhere, a miracle. The doctor walked in with a strange expression. Hadiza, we found a match. Her heart stopped. Who? She whispered. The doctor smiled. An anonymous donor. Someone saw your story and stepped up. Hadiza sobbed. A stranger had done what her own family refused to do. The surgery was scheduled immediately. It was her only chance. As she lay on the operating table, her last thought before the anesthesia took over was simple: I deserve to live. But the real test came after she was discharged. She stepped into her apartment. No messages from her family. No one was waiting for her. She checked her phone. Nothing. They hadn't called. They hadn't asked her if the surgery was successful, if she even survived. She scrolled through the family's group chat. Silence. She opened the group chat, took a deep breath, and typed one last message. I almost died. None of you cared. I spent years breaking myself for you, but now I choose me. Don't call me. Don't message me. I am done. The words echoed in Hadiza's mind as she pressed send. Her fingers trembled, her heart racing as if she had just broken free from a heavy, suffocating chain. She had never been more terrified or relieved. For the first time, she put herself first. As the messages were sent, she felt a sense of emptiness, a void that had been slowly building for years, as if all the love and care she had poured into her family had vanished into thin air. She had spent so long trying to meet their endless expectations, so long giving and giving without ever receiving, that she almost forgot what it felt like to be loved for who she was. A few minutes passed and the family chat buzzed with responses. Her phone buzzed again and again, each message more accusatory than the last one. Her mother was the first to reply. What do you mean you can't do this anymore? We've supported you, and now you are abandoning us after everything we've done for you? Is this how you repay us? Then her brother, with his usual sense of entitlement, said, You are overreacting, Hadiza. We are family. Don't just leave us in the lurch. Her sister was next, of course, with her usual lack of empathy. I need you, Hadiza. Your nephew miss you every day. Stop being selfish. The messages piled in, but Hadiza felt nothing. No guilt, no fear, just a profound realization that they never saw her as a person. They saw her as a tool, a means to an end. Her phone buzzed one more time, and this time it was her father. You know, I've worked hard for this family. It's really not easy being a father. I give you everything. We all give you everything. There is literally no one person in this family who did not sacrifice something for you. You are the babe in the house. And is this how you repay me, your father? His words stung, but they didn't hurt the way they used to. Hadiza had always looked up to him, hoping he would see her sacrifice and offer some form of appreciation. But all these years, no thanks, no support, no understanding. Tears streamed down her face as she read their messages. For the first time in years, Hadiza took a deep breath and allowed herself to grieve, not just the exhaustion, but the reality of the toxic love she had been clinging to. After a long silence, Hadiza took a deep breath and sent one more message to the family group chat. I am not your ATM. I am not your servant. I am done. She set down the phone. She wasn't sure what would happen next. She wasn't sure if they would try to guilt trip her anymore or if they would simply cut ties with her. But for the first time, Hadiza felt like she was finally living for herself. So she left the group chat, blocked every single one of them on social, and stopped picking their calls. She started putting herself first. For the first time in years, she took a weekend off. She treated herself to a massage, something she had never done. She went to a local cafe and read a book. She slept without waking up to a text demanding money or a call asking her to fix someone's mess. She began to save for herself, to plan for her future. Slowly but surely, the dark cloud of guilt and exhaustion lifted. 1 year later, Hadiza stood in front of her own house. Yes, her own. After cutting off her family, she saved aggressively. She worked hard, but this time for herself. She started therapy, learning to say no. She took time off to travel and she started living for herself. One day, as Hadiza sat on her couch enjoying the peace she had fought so hard, her phone started buzzing non-stop. One message after another. First, it was Amina. Hadiza, I know I've been selfish. I'm so sorry. Please talk to me. And then Abdullah, we were wrong. We miss you. Let's fix this. Even her mother sent a message. Hadiza, my child, I know I failed you, but we're still family. Please don't shut us out forever. She stared at the screen, her heart pounding. For the first time in a long time, she held the power. She took a deep breath. Should she forgive them? But then something popped in her head. Why did everyone all of a sudden send a message at the same time? Something is definitely going on. Hello, my J's. Now, tell me what you think. Do you think Hadiza was right for cutting off her entire family? What should she do now that everyone is coming back? Should she forgive them and embrace them like nothing? Finally, do you think they have something up their sleeves? Do you think they're in trouble? Or they finally are turning a new leaf? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section and watch out for part 2. If you haven't subscribed yet, please remember to like and share this video and subscribe. Bye and see you in our next video.